Good morning, loves. Happy Easter. If you aren't here with us, I hope you're having a special day at home with your families. And today I wanted to wonder with you about a few things, some of which have to do with Easter. I wonder what makes it Easter for you. I wonder if it's the Easter lilies or maybe orchids. Is it special songs we sing for Easter, like Jesus Christ is risen today? Or is it having something new to wear to church, or some special recipes your family have for dinner every year at Easter? Maybe it's a family tradition, or an Easter egg hunt with eggs full of candy. You know, eggs are really interesting. They've been a part of the Easter tradition for churches since around the year 400. I know that seems like a very long time ago. You know, what people used to do was to give up eggs at Lent. And then for all of Lent, they would choose not to have eggs. And so in some early church traditions, the first thing they would do for Easter would be to bring their eggs to church and have them blessed. And it was a way to have a very joyful food for the beginning of Easter. And so the Easter idea of eggs has been with us for a long time. And I have a couple of eggs to show you. At my house, we have some hand-blown glass eggs. This one is blue. And I have other ones. Some are other colors, like I have an orange and red one. And then we have other eggs that have been painted or colored or dyed. Some are really intricately painted. Some have kind of a Russian motif. Some of them are just hand-painted glass, like this one. I love the look of the eggs. I love it when we find new ones. And eggs also remind us on the morning of Easter when those ladies went to the tomb and there was nothing there. It reminds us of the opportunity for rebirth and the resurrection of God. And I wonder what eggs are for you. But my favorite way to be reminded of the miracle Easter is one of these. I hope you have some of these at home. And what we do with cascarones is we break them. And can you see? And we say, remember your baptism. Happy Easter. I'll see you soon. I have another story to share with you this week. It's called "'Twas the Morning of Easter," and it was written by Glynis Nellist. "'Twas the morning of Easter before the sun rose. Two guards on a hillside were just trying to doze. You see, Jesus had died only 3 days before, and a huge stone had been placed to seal the cave door. The disciples were sleeping, but tossed in their beds, the visions of danger swirled round in their heads. Would they be arrested and led away too? Without Jesus, their leader, what would they do? In her small, quiet home, not too far away, Jesus' friend Mary was planning her day. She would go to the cave with perfume and spice in hopes that her gifts would make Jesus smell nice. The sun through the trees was just starting to peep at the guards on the hill, who were now fast asleep, when all of a sudden there came an earthquake, and the rocks and the trees all started to shake. The guards jumped up in fright and fell straight to the floor. The stone rolled away and unsealed the door. Then Mary arrived and crept up to the cave. She had to see Jesus. She had to be brave. But the cave was now empty. He just wasn't there. Mary sat down and wept. Her cries filled the air. But suddenly Mary heard someone behind. "Dear woman, who is that you're hoping to find?" Mary jumped and turned round, so confused and afraid. Was this man a gardener, and why had he stayed? But in the calm of his voice, the words that he said soon let Mary know she had nothing to dread. "Dear Mary, it's me. It's Jesus, your friend. My story's just starting. This wasn't the end." His eyes, how they twinkled, his smile so bright. Mary knew in a moment But could she be right? She gasped in surprise and cried, "Jesus, it's you! You came back to life. Your promise came true." Jesus nodded and said, "There's no time to lose. You must tell the disciples. Go, spread the good news." So she jumped to her feet and away Mary went. She'd a story to tell, a tale heaven sent. She ran without stopping. She called through the door, "Disciples, you've never heard this news before." Now Peter, now James, now Thomas, now John. I went to the cave and Jesus' body was gone. He called me by name. He's alive. It is true. It's a miracle only our great God could do. The trees seemed to dance. Birds started to sing. All creation joined in to worship the King. "He's alive! He's alive!" the rocks cried in praise. The whole earth rejoiced on this day of all days. When later that night Mary knelt down to pray, she thought about all that had happened that day. The stars heard her whisper through the soft evening light, "Happy Easter to all, and to all a good night."